so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to Thoughts for Rent. Keeping it real. That's the name of our podcast, right?
It's Thoughts for Rent. Realtors keeping it real. Max
Thoughts for Rent.
Zerflew.
Realtors keeping it real. I am Max Zerflew, and this is my wife, Jenni McKenna.
That is me, owner broker of McKenna Property Management.
Wow, you're kind of a big deal. I'm a broker salesperson for the McKenna team, the sales side of the McKenna Group. And we're excited to be here today. We actually just came back from a real estate convention and learned a lot of good stuff. And there was a lot of high energy presenters and a lot of really intelligent people talking about all kinds of different stuff. So probably sometime we'll talk further about that adventure.
Well, we went to, it's called Mega Agent Camp. And what's really fun about it is it's kind of exclusive. You have to pretty much, be producing of a certain level before you get the invite. And everyone that was there, it's a nationwide, actually it's international, but definitely everyone that was there was of a level that when they brought out some of the speakers and the panels, it just blows your mind. It blows your mind what you can accomplish. It's like, dream big.
Apparently we're going to talk about it right now.
No. It's just, was something that was just a big thing about just dream big. Don't let anything stop you.
And it can't be left unsaid that Keller Williams is the biggest real estate company in the world by numbers of agents, number of deals. So to be able to sit in the room with a bunch of high-minded people from such a successful company is pretty exciting.
It was really good.
One of the things that they talked about a lot this year was AI, but then also how to keep it human.
Yeah.
We can't all get caught up in AI and Chat GPT and having computers do stuff for us and forget that we are human beings having a human experience on this planet.
And I liked hearing that because I'm a bit old school. Everything that I've put in McKenna Property Management to build the business has a bit of a human touch. I do know that I could lean in more to AI, which I plan on doing because it is the wave of the future. I just liked hearing that you could lean into AI, take advantage of everything that AI offers you, and yet still have the human touch. I liked that part.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And it kind of brings to the point that I want to kind of talk about today is how we all get very excited about trips and adventures and big, fancy restaurants and going out and doing all kinds of fancy stuff and posting it online and social media. You and I go on lots of trips, go to a lot of cool places. And what came to my mind today is that with all those amazing things we've done, sometimes the funnest, best experiences are just sitting around a table with your family and talking about memories and funny stories and, or sitting around a table with a bunch of friends. You don't have to go on a big trip. You don't have to go, spend $100 per person at a fancy meal. Some of the greatest things that you and I have done together has been just sitting around talking about our lives.
I agree.
That's what I want to talk about.
It's the small things. It's the sacred small moments in time. And I agree with you 100%. And we actually had one of those moments last night.
We did.
Max celebrated his birthday. Congratulations, Max. Another year older and wiser. And we were able to get the family around the dining room table. And we didn't do a big dinner. It was Max's mom that did kind of a variety of things, just kind of random fruit, cucumbers, I don't know, a loaf of bread.
Carts, deviled eggs.
It was odd. It was an odd setup.
Potpourri, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely not what you normally would plan as a meal for a birthday celebration. But we sat down and it was about sharing memories, and we laughed and we remembered things that we had forgotten. And I mean, my son Kai, our son Kai, he almost rolled over twice in his chair. He was laughing so hard at things that we were talking about.
Well, we also had a couple of times last night when, Mom and John, my stepfather, were talking about things that our kids hadn't even heard about, didn't even know about.
Correct.
So when you sit around a table with multi-generations, you're gonna find that there are some experiences, stories, some funny things that some people haven't even heard about, and they go, "Whoa, that my dad did that, or my mom did that." So it's really cool. I mean, Ireland kind of started it years ago. We sat down for a birthday dinner, and she said, "Okay, on birthdays, we like to go around the table and see what everybody's favorite experience is with the birthday person."
I think she calls it popcorn because it's just like you pop in. As soon as you think of something, you can pop in and then you talk about it.
So that's what happened last night. And you and I will go out to dinner, and we can go to a really fancy dinner, or we can go to Del Taco. But the conversation is ultimately what drives the experience. And you and I can, we'll go and talk about things that we've done together in our life, and those memories are really what is entertaining. Well, I've got one I want to share.
Okay, you can share.
And we might share a couple. Who knows?
Okay.
But Jenni and I were she's going to laugh right away, and it's going to be hard for her not to laugh.
Okay.
Jenni and I went to a restaurant near Phoenix, Arizona once.
I know.
See? And we went to this restaurant, just the two of us. It was a Mexican restaurant, kind of a really big restaurant, multi-levels. But we got sat at a two-top behind an older woman and I think it was her son.
Definitely son.
Felt like her son. And they were having dinner, but we had just gotten there. So they were done, and they got up to pay their bill, and they were going to leave. So the guy was paying the bill, and the mom got up. She had a cane, and she was about 3 feet behind Jenni. But Jenni could see her, and I could see. Both of us had view of her. And she stood up, and her loose pants just fell straight to the ground. And it was really, I mean, you tell these stories, and obviously if you were there, it's a whole other experience. But this one made us laugh. We had to try not to laugh.
We couldn't laugh because we didn't want to make somebody feel bad. She didn't even realize that the pants had fallen down until she tried to start walking. And then she realized, and she tried to pull it up, and it was awkward even trying to pull it up. The sun came over. But you're watching this and you're like, I can't laugh. I can't laugh. I can't laugh. But then I'm looking at Max and he's trying not to laugh. And then as soon as we acted like we said a joke. I think you said something sort of loud. And then I was like, oh, you're so funny, Max. And then I could.
Earshot, though. Once they were out of earshot, we kind of cackled. But the thing is, that was really funny at the time. But you and I, anytime we bring it up, we can have another laugh and we can have another joyful moment. Because yes. I think laughter is the biggest. It's the greatest energy that there is. Smiling and laughter, I think, really drive the human existence.
I agree with you. And I think that in this world where we're so busy and we always feel like there's something else that we should be doing, something else that we should be checking off our box, I think we forget that laughing is essential. It really is essential. And if you don't have a Max Zerflu in your family that makes you laugh all the time, you can find things. You can find things on YouTube or just go out with a friend that makes you smile and laugh. Everybody's got one of those in your life.
Yeah, you're right, though, about social media. You can go on TikTok, YouTube, and you can see TikToks of failure TikToks, people falling or dogs running into walls. And
you know what our favorite TikTok is right now? We have a boat. And when you're on a pontoon boat, you always think that you know how to park it, dock it, get it on or off your trailer. And when the wind's there and the waves are there, things just don't go as you're planning. We know this, but we like to watch others when they're doing it. And there's so many funny boat docking or trailer docking that just crack me up, as well as dogs. Dogs hilarious. Make me laugh too.
Now, the king of those is that Family Guy. There's a Family Guy video of a boat docking that is about 4 minutes long, and you can't not laugh at that thing.
It's the best. If I'm ever in a really depressed mood, all I would have to do is look that up, and all of a sudden, everything looks better to me.
No, I like
but
it.
Speaking of what we did last night, not only did we go around the table and just go through memories and talk, I think what really made it different is not one of us had our cell phones. Not one of us went in and we did show a couple photos. I think you pulled up your cell phone.
Because we tell a story and then we go, this is when it happened.
Yeah. But the good thing is that cell phone didn't come back in and you didn't go in and Google something or you didn't go in and get caught on what your text was or what your email was. And I think that being present in the moment is also the secret for creating these very special moments.
Yeah, that's true.
I call them sacred moments.
Sacred moments, huh?
Sacred moments. I think that we are missing a lot of the sacred moments, and there's a lot of great dates that we can go on. I think TikTok's actually a culprit for this. TikTok will send you things like, "Oh, go to this really great restaurant, or try this, or go to this," and they're big deals. They're big events. You plan them either on your date or they're on your event. You get with your friends, whatever, and you're trying to create these memories off of big moments. And in my world, big moments aren't always the things I remember. It's the small, funny little moments that come up that you didn't even expect.
It does not have to be elaborate. Doesn't have to be exquisite or unique. Just got to be a table with some chairs and some people.
But don't you think that the society right now is trying to convince that it needs to be big?
Well, that's also social media has had a lot to play in that, because people post their pictures of their, the ladies go out for a bachelorette party and they have their sashes, and they flew to Charleston or San Antonio or Nashville, and they made a 4-day trip out of a bachelor party. You and I, of our age, we look at that and go, "What in the heck?"
That takes up too much work.
But then people see that and they go, "I got to do that. I got to do that." That's what's going to make my event better, is if I spend money and travel and go to a fancy place. And my thought is, it's not true. What makes the event better is the people. The people make the event.
I agree. And I do believe that society right now is not a people-to-people society.
Lately, a lot of the stories, like last night going around the room, a lot of the stories are about me or my failures, my falls, my this, my that.
Well, let me tell everybody what your nickname is.
Oh, okay.
When I met Max, his family had nicknamed him Maxident. And I thought, oh, that's kind of mean to call somebody a Maxident. Well, let me tell you, he is a walking Maxident right here.
I'm a little accident prone sometimes.
A little bit.
But now I'm getting a little older. My knees are a little weak. Now I fall over sometimes and people start laughing at that. I fell in Germany a couple of years ago. Or was it France? Was it France? Anyway, and you didn't try to help me. You just started laughing at me.
I couldn't. I could not move because you did a yard sale. Everything just flew on the steps of a cathedral.
Well, it's at my expense, and you got to be able to laugh at yourself, or you're screwed if you can't laugh at yourself. But the memory of that has been repetitive, and we've talked about it a lot. No question about it.
Yeah, you got to laugh at yourself. And when you do silly things, then that becomes the funny moments that you get to share at the dining room table.
Speaking of dates, I made a reservation for tomorrow night. You probably don't know that because when you work, you don't look at your text that I send you. But we have a reservation tomorrow at a restaurant.
Oh, nice. Oh, good.
You're going to go? You accept my invitation to a date?
I better check my text and figure out if I can go or not.
Somebody referred the steakhouse at the M to us.
Oh.
So we're going to go there tomorrow and see what that's like.
We'll be creating some memories. And they don't have to be big. They can be small.
We just have so many memories with our kids, too, that are just so important, because we learned at our seminar that by the time our kids are 18 years old, we have spent 95% of the time we're going to spend with them. And Jenny and I feel like maybe we're above the curve a little bit. I don't know. We spend a lot of time with our kids now, even though they're in their 20s. But the memories of when they were younger really is eventually all you have when they move away or they get their own families and you're not spending time with them, to be able to look back and look at the memories of when they were babies and kids and some of the fun things they did. That's really, to me, those are really cool conversations to have.
Well, they're very fun too, because now that they're in their 20s, they can give us their perspective on what happened. And sometimes, you had it as what you thought that was, and you thought that was funny, and then you get their side of it and it's even funnier. So there's a lot of back and forth now that the kids are in their 20s about some of the stuff that they did, and how they've got little, I don't know, we'll call them little nuances that we remember of each one of the kids and what they did.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the things that was a shocker, 95% of your time, once the kids get into their 20s, you've already spent with them. And there was a story that really hit home with me with one of the keynote speakers, which was the fact that him and his wife had a really hard time getting pregnant. And so they did everything they could. There were prayers. They did the fertility doses. They did all the stuff that you do when you want to try and have a baby. And there were many years that it was really tough. And then finally, she gets pregnant and she has a little boy. And so this little boy is in their life now, and he's around 2 at this time. And the keynote speaker was, he writes books, and he was in the middle of maybe a chapter or his thought pattern, and he was really focused in on it. And his little 2-year-old boy, as boys do, come bouncing into the office, really disturbing everything. And he was frustrated, and he wanted to get, that little boy out of the room. He wanted to finish what he wanted to do. And thank goodness he took a second, and he was like, what am I doing? I prayed for this little boy. I did everything to have this little boy. I need moments with this little boy because he's going to be gone soon. It's going to, in a minute, he's going to be 18. And he stopped what he was doing. He went down on the floor. He spent some precious moments with him, just a little bit.
Yep.
And then was present in the moment, creating that sacred moment. And then he went back to what he was doing. And I thought that was a big lesson to learn.
You can't get it back. You cannot get time back.
But sometimes you think that project that you're working on is so important.
You can always go make more money. But you can't get the time back. So I think it's very important to remember that. Actually, Father Time is undefeated. I've told you this many times.
I'm trying to defeat him.
Yes. If possible, Jenny is trying to fight Father Time harder than me.
I'm working on it.
The other day, a friend of mine posted a picture. I said, more evidence that Father Time is undefeated. And it was a video of David Lee Roth singing. He's 70 now, David Lee Roth.
Don't tell me that, because
he's so old.
I remember David Lee Roth when he was like bouncing around the stages.
Oh, he was high energy, boy. Let me tell you.
He
anyway,
was.
You got wealth, right? You got money, yay! But it doesn't mean you got happiness everywhere else. So while we all chase that dollar all the time, we got to remember that we have to have happiness and physical health, and we got to be aware of our surroundings and our family and spend time with them and have fun with them. I hope that we got a few more minutes left, but I want to encourage everybody, when you're done with this podcast, take a video of you telling your story, a story that you had that really made you laugh, or type it up and send it to us.
Or a TikTok.
But send it to us so we can see it. I'd love to hear what some of your fun stories are. We had a story where our son has an eye that was not quite as strong as the other, and he had a patch that he wore when he was younger. We were on a family trip, and we all laughed at this too much, but we were at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we were around the corner from the counter. We ordered our food, went to go sit down, and then when the food came, we sent Kai out to get the food. Go back and get the food, Kai. And Kai ran everywhere.
Yeah.
He never walked anywhere. So he had his patch on, and he took off running to go get the food, and we heard this splat and this wet floor stand. It was on the side of his face where the eye patch was, so he didn't see it. It's horrible that we're laughing at it, but we laughed at that so hard.
Yes.
And I want to hear some of your experiences, something like that you could share with us. Is there anything really, really funny that you want to share? Can you think of one?
I think that a lot of people are trying to find the secret sauce in life. They buy books. They listen to podcasts. They are always striving to find the secret recipe, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's laughing.
Yeah.
I think it's finding the sacred moments, remembering them, and then talking about it with friends, family, coworkers. We start our mornings at 8:50 here at McKenna Property Management. And we have times where we'll just sit around before we even start the workday and laugh. In fact, yesterday, Ireland, it was a throwback Thursday, and she put pictures up on our TV screen of so many years ago, like some of them were 15, 16 year ago photos. And we laughed at so many of them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like yesterday, my morning, I was energized. I was just ready to go, go, go. You look back on it and you go, why? What was different? I think it's because it started with laughter.
Yeah, very well could be, yeah. Yeah, so start your day with a laughter, and don't forget to laugh at yourself. Be okay with that. I know we talk about Karens, and I don't know what the male name for a Karen is, but people get all excited about the small things that happen to them, and they get angry and they get frustrated. But I think if they can have more laughter in their life, they would be able to pass those moments off as not so stressful. Be able to laugh at yourself, laugh at your surroundings, and know that we're here for a moment in time. And let's not lose that moment by being frustrated and angry. Let's laugh and smile.
And I think you'll honestly see more success in every aspect of your life.
Amen to that. Anything else you want to throw out there, Jenny?
Just make sure that if you like what you're hearing on Thoughts for Rent, Realtors Keeping It Real, that you hit the subscribe button or share this episode with somebody that you think might get a kick out of it. And of course, we always would love to hear from our subscribers.
We would love to hear from our subscribers. Reach out to us anytime. We'll talk to you guys soon. That was Realtors Keeping It Real on Thoughts for Rent. Oh, there you go. Sound good? Okay, good. I'll pass over to Ireland. Here you go, Ken.
Thanks, Pops.